T A O I B O N G. Talibong.
Ang pantagtad ng lechong manok at liempo, legit na gawang Aklan. Pero sa Libacao Aklan, may kakaibang sandata na natatangi sa kanilang kultura, ang talibong.
Una po sa lahat, ito po kasing talibong, nung unang panahon, hindi ka makakakita ng bahay ng walang talibong. Ang talibong po ay sinisimbolo ng kasipagan, katatagan, pagiging malakas.
Ang isang talibong, isang linggo yan mayari. Ang isa, ang nakadili lang dyan kung maulan, hindi ako makabarnis. Ang una dyan, hinahasa ko muna. Tapos, gumagawa na ako ng hawakan. Ay kung hindi mo mayari yung hawakan, hindi ka makagawa ng yung tagob na tawag dito sa amin para balansi lahat ang pagkagawa. Hindi, pinoporsyon kasi yan sa anong laki at anong haba, binabagay yan. Ay kung hindi bagay, ay ang mga kolektor na bumibili, rinireject nila yan.
Ang natatanging pagkakaukit at disenyo ng mga talibong, talaga namang akma bilang pangregalo o pamana sa susunod na henerasyon. Pero sa kasalukuyan daw ay nahihirapan sila dahil mukhang wala nang magmamana ng tradisyon ng paggawa ng talibong sa pamilya ni Mang Joselito. Ang talibong, isang tatak ng kulturang Aklanon na pinapanatiling buhay ng mga tulad ni Mang Joselito. Pwedeng pamana, pwede rin pampasalubong.
The fighting swords of Aklan were used and carried by different generation of Aklan warriors and freedom fighters who defied by several foreign intruders. In the early days of Christianism in Aklan, these swords were used by coastal Christian communities to defend themselves against the raiding Moors from the south. It was also the standard weapon for the local insectors or freedom fighters who fought valiantly against the sabers and muskets of the Spanish tyrant in the 18th century. The Talibong, likewise, is the secondary weapon of guerrilla soldiers during it clashed with the famed Japanese samurai, carried by the Japanese Imperial Army in close-in fighting and hand-to-hand combat. Today, these Talibong are still individually crafted, engineered, and hand-forged by present-day Aklan artisans from the highlands of Libacao. Modern-day artisans still apply the traditional pattern or design of the pre-Spanish period used by their forefathers centuries ago. The Bakutan swords are a typical of the Visayan blade. It has a beveled edged flat on one side and chiseled on the other side. Usually denotes if the original owner is left or right-handed. The Bakutan swords are very distinct in appearance, with various shapes and sizes. This particular blade is mostly straight from the tip to the base. Typically, this kind of Filipino swords is larger and heavier than the other swords, is primarily a slashing weapon with a dynamic thrusting power. The Gininting swords are perfect for close-quarter attacks. These swords are shaped like a beak, as the tip of these swords are curved downward, similar to Kukris of the Gurkhas. Gininting are the official swords of the Philippines Marines. The Gininting is easier to use as utility tools, as a jungle bolos for clearing brush, slaughter tools for hunting, chopping small pieces of wood for fire, and a perfect weapon to carry. It is common to see a Gininting along with miles and the other firearms used for a war in the jungle of the Philippines. The Kinampit swords. This kind of swords has an appearance almost similar to that of the Gininting, except that the tip of the swords is drastically cut diagonally, giving it a distant appearance. Practitioners of Filipino martial arts, such as eskrima, kali, kanta, and arnis, and collector of Filipino cultural and traditional heritage, will find the hand-forged, custom-made Filipino blades a fine addition to their weapons and heritage collectors.
Olin Natabio, member. Jarek Esteban, member. Jonbel Nama, member. Gerald Daniel Gino, member. Ana Jean Zapico, member. Rilan Nabiang, member. Jonah Mazik, member. Rika Joyali. Member. Adrian Zubiaga. Member. Leica Mateo. Member. Freidlin Costeo. Member. Aries Nalangan. Member.